What's going on, guys? We got Project Taco in here today, and we got to start tearing it down. We're gonna pull the motor out, separate the trans, try to get it up on the engine stand, probably do the head gasket, put some head studs in it, get it ready for some bigger boost, and got to get it done tonight. So let's see. In all of its glory. So from what I'm seeing, the guy shipped it without any real nuts on it. Bolts are just floating in the holes. Yeah, get a good zoom in on that one, Matt. Oh yeah. Totally wide open. So I'm gonna check the trans. I think I seen at least one nut under there. Three nuts. So what I'm seeing is they took the factory cross member out for the factory Toyota trans, and they welded in and patched in all the holes, and they drilled and put bolts all the way through the frame.
So pretty solid.
Yeah, it should be pretty solid. I would have liked to see maybe some collars in there or something, but they use grade 8, so it should be nice and sturdy. There's not a whole bunch of lateral force at play where it bolts to the frame, but it's not, it should be just fine being all the way through. Yeah, we're just gonna zap these nuts off. Leave the bolts floating. And pull the bolts out of the poly mount. Let the transmission float here. Once I hook up the engine stand or engine hoist to it, I'm gonna put a jack underneath the transmission just to support it enough to where I can get this cross member out. And once I do, I'm gonna have a adjustable mount on the cherry picker. That way we can tilt it up and down with the trans on it and not have to worry about it swinging too crazy or trying to pick it up. So we'll get this one down to the ground and hook up the engine hoist. So I am having good feelings about this motor being GTE bottom end. I don't think it's ever been apart. I think it just came out of an Aristo and got shipped over here. Who's to know until you tear it apart?
What are you saying, people do shady stuff these days?
Oh, you never know. This could be like a GS 300 lower end, and they just took a GTE head end and bolted it on. I mean, these motors are going for what, 6,000 to 8,000 on average right now. So back when I first started into the 2J world, you could pick them up for $2,500 for motor, trans, wiring harness, ECU, everything. Not really worry about it. They were a dime a dozen for the non-VVTi, and that's originally what I purchased for my Lexus before I went to the stroker. Where's the jack? Need to get that trans cross member out of the way. So so we can swing it the way we want to. Some beefy trans mount bolts. No, it's not powder coated, so it will be getting powder coated. Someone just took a spray can to this thing. Dry spray all over. There's some rust breaking through. Some runs here and there, but we're gonna make it all pretty. Wasn't too bad for an engine bolt. Now, the 2J is pretty flat between the oil pan, the front of the oil pan and the rear of the oil pan. The lower oil pan was already crushed. So I think they crushed it when they were moving around their garage or in shipping or something. So we're probably gonna end up replacing that. We do have to get this bell housing and trans off to get it up on the mount on the engine stand. And we gotta assess what exactly is going on in this motor, make sure it's all good. Probably stick some new valve seals, head gasket, head studs, new water pump, timing belt. We're gonna make it nice and reliable. So I'm gonna separate the motor from the trans. Gonna get it up on the engine stand so we can tear it down. But here's another thing I was talking about ease of working on. I know this is a Grannis kit, but using Allen bolts, they're probably grade 5 or whatever, but they're rusty. They're internal Allen, so being a 6-point, it's gonna strip eventually. It's very hard to use these over and over and over without an issue. We're gonna probably find grade 8 or grade 10, some kind of bolt that has a hex external. So nice 6-point bolt that we don't have to worry about pulling over and over. So I don't know if you can see the buildup of rust in there, but this car's been sitting around. Could you imagine if this was a daily driver in a state where we live, you know? Super rusty, super corroded. You probably wouldn't even be able to get the Allen bit in. So hopefully this engine's van can handle a fully assembled one. We know that, we've already built a couple on this.
Thanks for tuning in to see the teardown of the Tacoma finally get underway. Parts are trickling in and we're ready to get to building. Every Saturday we'll keep you updated on our progress, and if you have any suggestions along the way, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, message us, and let us know what you want to see.